Good morning to you all. Welcome to this, sorry, to this cough. Welcome to this episode of The Peaceful Path. I'm just reading what YouTube says here. Welcome to our live. Yep. Okay, great. Thank you, YouTube, for the welcome. Thanks, guys. I want to welcome you for being here and for wanting to engage in this talk with me. I am very grateful and appreciative of your company. I thought we'd step outside. It's a sunny day. Let me just switch the camera and I'll show you. There is not, good morning, TM. So nice to see you. And look, there's not a cloud in the sky today. It's blue, it's warm, it's beautiful. So yeah, I thought it would be a nice opportunity to just get some sun and hang out with my favorite people. I just wish I had brought my sunglasses and hat, but that's okay. We will get there. Let's see. Hey, Kathy. Great to have you here. Thanks for being here. G'day, Catherine. Always nice to see you. Yes, we are outside, Suzanne. We are. Yep. Well, I was even hoping, maybe later we can go for a walk, but let's see how we go. Either way, it's just nice to be outside with you, and we will. I'll be listing today. I'll be listing our next Zenful meditation in a garden. I'll be doing that sometime today. So we've got more stuff to come up. We might even do a beach waves meditation as well, just so we can add more outdoor experiences to our repertoire. I think that's important. Yeah, certainly is a beautiful day, TM. You don't get many of those around. We haven't been getting many of those recently, so it's nice when we do get them to make the most of it. So yeah, for sure. So thanks, guys. Thank you so much for being here. This episode will be just me talking a little bit about how meditation has changed my life, but I wanted to be more of a discussion than a talk. So I want to along the way also hear your experiences and how meditation has impacted your journey in this, crazy world. And yeah, we can share stories, and I think it's just a nice way for us to remind ourselves of how far we have come and of how meditation has played a role in our lives. And it's just I think it can be very motivational. Hello, Natasha from Yorkshire. Lovely to have you here. Thanks for being here, Natasha. So yeah, along the way, if you have questions, I'll endeavor to answer them as vividly as possible and accurately as possible, and as in the most customized way possible. So again, this is interesting because we always talk about the benefits of meditation. There are a variety of academic and scholarly studies that have expressed and demonstrated the benefits of meditation throughout the years, and the benefits are in writing, and they are, there is a very clear consensus as to how and in what manner meditation can help us grow. But it really sits different when you express these benefits on an anecdotal level, when it's more of a personal expression of benefits. So I think this is very important every now and then for us to just share our personal experiences, and I'm excited for this. So meditation, I'll start with me. I'll talk a little bit about how meditation has benefited my life, and then I'll switch the table to you, and we'll hear a little bit about how it has impacted your life. If you are watching this as a delayed recording, because I know that it's a little bit late now in some parts of the world, then you can share your experiences in the comments, and I'll later on endeavor to reply to them at my early convenience. So meditation has played an immense role in my life. It probably has changed my life more than anything else in my life, and which is why I've decided to commit and dedicate my life to it, and share this gift with others, and pursue it as not only a passion but as a vision and as a purpose. So I'll begin. I first first introduced to meditation in 2007, back before you would have access to Inside Timer, or before YouTube was even something that YouTube was around, but it wasn't really a place that you could find meditations from. Before you could just search for meditations online. There was none of that online stuff, but I would buy CDs. I would go to a massive bookshop that we have it doesn't exist anymore, in Melbourne, called Borders. And I would go to the self-help section. And my first meditation CDs were by a man by the name of Glenn Harrold. I don't know if you've heard of him. He's a British meditation instructor. And back in 2007, I would listen to his meditations, and he does very unique 4D meditations. So they come at you when you're using headphones from all directions. I used to have Borders as well, TM. Yeah, I miss Borders. I used to love going to Borders, to the like finding a book from there and sitting in there. They used to have a cafe inside, and just reading the book and deciding whether I want to, read it, buy it or not, and all while just sipping on a coffee and relaxing. I miss it. I really do miss Borders a lot. We do have something similar now, but there was nothing quite like Borders. It was massive. So I would, buy those CDs by Glenn Harrold, who, by the way, is on Inside Timer. If you want to, and to be honest, his style hasn't changed at all. In 14, 15, 16 years, he has remained the same. So I used to listen to his meditations, but I wouldn't do it on a regular basis. I would just do it to grow, and I would do it to help instill confidence in myself. So I didn't really experience, I don't recall any vivid benefits that have ensued from those meditations. Then in 2011, I joined an acting school in Melbourne, known as the Melbourne Actors Lab, one of the most prestigious acting schools in Melbourne. And in the classes, the teacher would encourage us to meditate. So the class would go as follows. We would start the class with 45 minutes of meditation. Can you believe it? So I studied at the Melbourne Actors Lab for about 3 years. And I mean, I wasn't there every single day, but in every class we would meditate for 45 minutes prior to actually beginning the class, okay? So I found that to be immensely helpful as an actor, because it helped alleviate my stage fright, helped me stay in character. And that was my first benefit of meditation. He never liked to refer to it as meditation. It was a body scan meditation. He would refer to it as a relaxation exercise. But it was a meditation now that I think of it. So that was my first benefit. I would do these acting exercise, these meditations at acting school, and it helped me feel more in the moment. And when you're in the moment as an actor, you really do reap the most out of your character. You grow, you can express, you can be that character most authentically, because you're not worried about anything else. You're in the present moment, especially when you're performing in front of other people. And it did help me a lot when I performed in theatre, and it helped me remain relaxed, because by nature I'm a very anxious person. I've always been a kind of jittery guy. I always used to fidget a lot by nature. So these meditations help bring me back to my center, to the present, and not let the anxiety get to me too much. That was my first experience. So I did that for about 3 years, and that helped me a lot. And then there were times that I didn't meditate throughout the years. But I think the real realization, and I'll just quickly answer Suzanne, was there a life event that made you turn to meditations? Yeah, it's a great question. So that was the first one. The acting school was the first life event that made me understand what meditation is capable of, understand the potential of meditation. But then let's fast forward a few years from now, and 2020, we all experienced what came to us: COVID, lockdowns, isolation, stress, constant worry, and that took a huge toll on me personally. We were stuck in lockdown, just like all of you, and I was feeling isolated, and my mental health was severely impacted at the time. I was feeling very anxious and isolated, and I decided to challenge myself. I had a lot of spare time. I was with my friend Paul, we were living together, and try to meditate for 1 hour a day for 30 days. And that was my first step into just fully committing to meditation. And I needed it. And I think this drive to attempt this challenge was fed by my anxiety, right? So it was driven by this immense sense of anxiety that I was experiencing. So I thought, okay, well, let's try this challenge. So I meditated for an hour a day for 30 days straight. And what followed was, to this day, I can't believe how different I felt. So Suzanne, before 2020, I did meditate regularly. So I would meditate, as I was saying, I meditated in 2007. So I used to meditate to guided meditations, CDs. And then after 2007, around 2011, I started meditating for 45 minutes a day for 3 years. And then after that, I would meditate for about 15 minutes a day. But then, and it was amazing. It was amazing. But then 2020 hit different. And not even those 10, 15 minutes a day meditations could help me at the time. It was just an immense feeling of anxiety and hopelessness that I was experiencing. And I needed to up it to an hour, right? I was still a member of Insight Timer. I joined Insight Timer in 2015, 2016. So I've been on Insight Timer. I reaped the benefits of it, experienced a lot of guided meditations. But 2020 was when I wanted to take meditation to a new level. Okay, I wanted to explore it on a whole new paradigm. And yes, that's when I studied it a lot more, intensely. Again, an hour a day for the first 30 days, which turned out to be an hour a day for now the rest of my life. And I to this day still meditate an hour a day. And, what really blew my mind was, meditation always kept me at bay. I would meditate prior to 2020 when I needed to, when I was feeling anxious or when I was feeling unsettled or angry. I'll do a 15, 20-minute meditation, sometimes 5. And I would meditate as a means of necessity. But following 2020, it became a means to, it became integrated into my life. So I would just meditate the same as you would brush your teeth or shower or do anything. It just became a regular routine. And that's when you really know, and that was my first lesson, that the real differences come from regular practice of meditation, not from meditating when you need to meditate. When you're experiencing that anxiety, you meditate. I mean, you can, obviously, but you really notice the difference when you meditate for something like 30 to 60 minutes a day, and then something hits you, right? In my case, something that would have usually given me a lot of anxiety or angered me came up on TV. And my friend Paul was the first to notice that and pointed out to me. And he said to me, "Look, Alex, I've noticed that you would usually express something, and you didn't. You were just calm the whole time." And that was my first sense of, wow, I've actually changed a little bit. And I started exploring that a little bit more, and this sense of equanimity has stuck with me since. And I just think that it's, you start realizing, you start noticing how you respond differently to things. It's not an overnight solution. It's not something that you can just meditate and then your anger or anxiety or stress goes away. It's something that you do on a regular basis, and then you just learn how to handle it. It's quite incredible, actually. It's like a martial art. You do it regularly, and then when you need it, it's there for you. So, yeah. And I really did realize that, Suzanne. I realized that it is a way of life. It is not an instant remedy. So then I started understanding how it has affected my life. Okay, my focus improved. and I mentioned that in my video. If you go to my YouTube channel, my most popular video is, second or third or fourth most popular video is meditating for 30 days. That's the challenge that I did. But I did notice I became a better listener, okay? I would listen, I'll be more attentive, I'll be in the moment when people talk to me. And by default, I'm more of a listener than a talker I know now I'm talking a lot, I'm doing all the talking, but when I'm in social settings, I usually engage in more listening than I do talking. So I became a better listener. I became more calm. I became more empathetic to other people's struggles. I became a little more capable of focusing for longer periods. I become more willing and able to deal with difficult situations that come from stepping out of my comfort zone. So I can step out of I can do things and I can just not let them stress me out. So you become more risk avert. And, my memory has improved a little bit since meditating, which I've actually noticed that, it's taking less notes, especially when I was doing the virtual touring for 2.5 years, roughly. I noticed that I would read content and absorb it a lot easier. And that was a huge gift, that I have acquired from meditation. It is great. And part of that is because you're more focused, you're more attentive to what you're reading, you're more calm. When you're calm and when you're reading something, when you're focused, it just helps you remember it a lot better. TM saying, I sure could use memory improvement. It does seem to have gotten a bit better. Yeah, and look, we all could, firstly, and I get what you mean. But yeah, again, it does get better when you meditate. It does get better, TM, absolutely. And as we age, after the age of 30, our memory starts declining. So I think that, especially for people who are maturing, I think that meditation could not be more appropriate. And in that sense, meditation can actually reverse your aging. Actually reverses how you age, because it actually improves your memory. So they conducted studies on Buddhist monks who meditate regularly. Some of them were in their 60s and 70s, and they scanned their brains. They came to the conclusion their brains are actually their memory and their brains are as good as a 30-year-old. They had the brains of 25, 30-year-olds, which is incredible, which is unheard of. So, I think that it's a skill that can, reverse the aging of your brain. And let's see what Suzanne has to say. Suzanne's saying, so you're gaining your knowledge and wisdom through reading, learning, and memorizing. Absolutely, Suzanne. So I gain everything that I've learned, everything that I grow from, it's through reading and learning and memorizing. Yeah, so I read a lot. So I try to read as many books as I can about anything that I can get my hands on that has to do with meditation. I try to read it, and when your memory is improved, it absorbs better. Reading also helps your brain. You actually activate, when you read, your brain, you activate signals in your brain that it exercises your brain really well. Even better is when you read out loud. That's when you really, there was a Japanese scientist, Takayomo, I forgot his last name. I can mention it in the group, but he concluded that when you read out loud, when you read a book out loud, not only does it absorb better in your mind, even though it may be annoying for the person next to you, but it actually activates your brain almost better than anything. There's only one thing that it activates the brain better, and that's, I think he said, mathematical exercises as fast as you can. Simple mathematical exercises. But he said that when you're reading out loud, it actually improves your brain. It's incredible. Absolutely, Suzanne. All this applies to everyone. Everyone, more than ever, really, seniors and mature audiences, more than anything. So I think that meditation is one of those things. We talk about running, we talk about powerlifting and about all of these things. Meditation is one of those things that you can benefit from at any age, right? It doesn't really matter. It's not like exercise where, you have to change what you're doing as you age. Meditation, you can meditate the same way a 25-year-old will meditate. And, but the difference is when you're older, I think you just need to meditate a little bit more. You need to there's so much you can work on, and you need to strengthen that hippocampus in your brain. So yeah, I'd say, look, one of the most important facets of meditating that you can achieve is the ability, improving your ability to focus, and being attentive, and being calm, and being relaxed, and experiencing this sense of equanimity, which is quite incredible. So, yeah, let's hear a little bit from you. I'd like to hear how you're going to have to meditate all day, Suzanne. Well, whatever you do not do an 8-hour meditation. That'll definitely that's tough. But yeah, I'd like to hear what you think. What do you have to say? What experiences have you noticed that have come from you meditating? TM is saying, Suzanne, like Alex is saying, exactly, TM, exactly. Yes, no, I mean, and that was one of the lessons that I learned, that I have gained from not reading, just from experiencing, and that is the 8-hour meditation has taught me that everything needs to be done in moderation. I had an idea of how I would feel like, which again goes against what I teach you, which is not to expect anything. But I had an idea that after those 8 hours of meditation, I would feel, I would just feel relaxed and Zen-like. I thought I would feel like Buddha, really. I thought I would feel like a super Zen-like person. And that didn't happen. No. But again, I came to the conclusion that everything in moderation, even meditation. Okay, so that was profound in some ways. Another thing that meditation has helped me do, it's helped me become more disciplined. I've become a little bit more aware of when I engage in highly addictive activities like social media, or eating certain foods, chocolate. I've become more aware of these things, and it's just helped me control and regulate my emotions a lot more in that sense. Prior to that, I would get sucked into things a lot more easily, and then once you get caught up in this little vortex of internet, it's very hard to step out. But meditation has definitely helped me focus a lot better, and realize when those bad habits are taking over, and just step away from them, and it makes perfect sense. Suzanne has something to say. Suzanne's saying, I've never meditated before I joined your group, Alex, and now I would not want to miss it. Learned a lot from you, have become calmer, more at ease with myself, and more compassionate. Yeah, fantastic points there, Suzanne. And that's just one of those things that you acquire from meditation, is a greater sense of calm, but most importantly, in my opinion, more compassion. I think that when we meditate, we start seeing things from other people's perspectives a lot more. We start, we experience more empathy, and I think that to me is one of the most amazing experiences you can acquire from meditation. One of the amazing skills, and it makes me think. And I want to launch an episode about what I'm about to say. It makes me think, if everyone in the world meditated, can you imagine how much more compassion would circulate around this world? How much more relaxed and how much more peaceful this world would be, and how much we would listen to each other more, and we would not be judgmental of each other, and we would be willing to engage in rational and balanced dialogue. I mean, that would be amazing, right? So yeah. TM is saying, I used to meditate years ago and somehow stopped. Wow, yeah. That's, well, as I said to you before, I can relate. I was the same thing, and sometimes life gets in the way. And when you meditate, it was like, when you meditate without having a group to support you, and without having a group to motivate you and encourage you, it's very easy to slip out of it. So definitely 100%. I think that's one of the benefits, one of the strengths of our group, of this community that we have, is that we encourage each other, we motivate each other to keep going, and we're there for each other. And I think that's immensely profound. Ruth, hadn't heard of the reading aloud bit, just reading how your mind can heal your body. Yes, absolutely. That sounds like a really good book. Is that by, is that a John Kabat-Zinn book? It sounds familiar though. And it's true though, but it's very true. Your mind can heal your body, because when your mind is in a relaxed state, I'm a big believer in the mind-body connection, Ruth, as I'm sure you are, which is why you're reading this book. But when the mind is in a relaxed and balanced state, it affords your body a greater opportunity to heal. Your body does work more efficiently and better when your mind is relaxed. So without a doubt, that's amazing. Hey Janine, lovely to have you. Thanks for being here. TM saying, I wish they could teach it in schools from an early age. 100%. I could not agree with you more, TM. I wish they could teach meditation in schools. I wish they, at the very least, that before each class, just have a 15-minute meditation for students. Students, their brains are shaping. And I just wish I was exposed to meditation at a younger age. I wish I had someone like me at a class teaching me meditation at a younger age. And boy, can you imagine how much we would have grown and how much we would have learned and how our brains would have developed for the better and for good if we had meditated younger. But it is what it is, Hey, Fatima, it's all good. Lovely to see you. Hey, Mary Lou, thanks for being here. Let's see, what else? Suzanne saying, I still have to remind myself to take time out for myself and meditate on a regular basis. That's my biggest obstacle. Yeah, and look, it's all about time management. It's just all about finding the time to just integrate the practice of meditation into your life. And I think that is probably the most important, one of the most important habits or important actions that you can integrate, is just finding the time to do it. That can be the biggest obstacle for sure. And that is when I teach meditation, I always encourage people that the first goal is not to learn how to meditate per se, how to understand the specific mechanics of meditation, but your first goal should be to, minute by minute, integrate it into your life. Find a way to accommodate it into your schedule in a very solid way, the same way you would brush your teeth or shower or exercise, so for sure, or even socialize. Robin saying, it helped me to stop and think before I do or say something. And that's a huge thing, absolutely, Robin, is that meditation does help you become more reflective as opposed to reflexive. So before you speak, you think, you reflect a little bit before you utter your first few words. Most people are reflexive and they just say what comes to their mind. They don't think before they talk. They talk and then they think, So, or most people are reactive, right? They respond and they just respond straight away. They don't let whatever is coming to them, they don't absorb it, they don't reflect on what they're going to say first. So I find that meditation gives you a slight advantage and edge in that sense. Well, let's see. Ruth is saying, been meditating regularly since you started too. I was a lapsed meditator too. Yeah, absolutely. Well, that happens. We sometimes we lapse and relapse. But amazing, Ruth, and that's amazing. That you've always you've been meditating for quite a while, and yeah, David Hamilton. Oh right, yeah. There are a few. That's why I was, I've heard of similar titles before, but I'll check the David Hamilton book out. Thanks for the reference, Ruth. Fatima, I've meditated 1 year or so, and I only got back to meditate when I met you. Amazing, Fatima. And how has that helped you? How has that benefited you? How have you found it? Feel free to share that. Sid saying, I've been lurking in the background. I agree with most of your comments. Thanks, Sid. I appreciate that. And lovely to see you as always. And it's honestly, having you guys propel me into exploring and educating more myself and you and growing as a meditation teacher and opening up, unraveling this world of meditation and mindfulness has been one of the best things that's ever happened to me. So a big thank you to you guys. Suzanne saying, at what age would you suggest the kids start meditating? Great question, Suzanne. I would suggest kids start meditating at the age of 1. No, seriously. There is no minimum age requirement, which is one of the best things about meditation. The thing with kids is that it's very tough to get them to meditate, right? They have very short attention spans, and understandably so. Kids have all of these emotions, but they don't know how to manage these emotions. They don't know what to do with them, right? They're coming to this world with so much happening around them. They're experiencing these emotions they've never experienced before. So they don't really know what to do. And I think meditation can help them regulate those emotions. I think that there are ways that you can teach kids to meditate. There are a lot of meditation instructors that specialize in guiding kids. And I truly believe that if kids meditated more often, the younger, the better. They meditated more often at a younger age, I think their lives would change profoundly. Especially in today's world, kids are born with mobile phones in their hands, or iPads, or tablets, and then they get given tablets, right? Instead of having, being introduced to meditation, learning how to manage those, in many ways, toxic habits that they acquire, TikTok and these trends that may ensue from TikTok and social media. I think those things can have a devastating impact on kids, and it's just terrible. I feel very bad for kids today, because we all have grown up in times we know better, right? We know and have been taught to navigate life without social media, without technology, without, we've had TVs, but they were never really addictive, right? You would finish the show that you're watching and you would turn the TV off. Nowadays, kids do not stop. And I feel I'm very worried about the next generation. To be honest, I'm extremely worried about them. But I do hope that eventually the education system will start seeing things the way that we're seeing it, and start worrying the same way that we're worrying. And then they can, who knows, possibly integrate it into classrooms, and hopefully the generation after this generation, if by then they do introduce meditation, can start, fresh. But I think that it's very worrying. It's very concerning. Really, it is. Can't imagine your life without it. 100%, Fatima. Neither can I, to be honest. It is honestly one of the, if not the best things that it's ever happened to me. And I am eternally grateful for having been introduced to meditation. And not only that, but also having you guys in my life. Yeah, exactly, TM. TV and tablets at a very young age. It's very sad. Suzanne saying, Alex, do you always feel better after you meditate? Do you always get the desired results? Suzanne, absolutely always. And I'll tell you why. Yesterday, for example, I was feeling extremely stressed and agitated. It was in some ways it was a rough day for me. And now old Alex would have just let the feelings navigate my day. And I would have had a stressful day. I would have made stressful decisions. That would have also grounded me, and it would have inhibited me from taking action and from doing anything productive. But and I experienced that yesterday, but all I had to do was meditate. And when I do experience those, I just set an extra 5 minutes. So I set a 35-minute meditation, and I felt incredible after. And the reason is because that I adapt my meditations to how I feel. So if I'm feeling depressed, I will not do an anxiety meditation, a mindfulness. I'll focus more on a gratitude meditation. I'll focus more on a meditation that involves visualizing positivity and good things, right? And maybe a goal-related meditation. I can set goals that'll fuel me a little bit more. If I'm feeling anxious, I will go to my body, which, by the way, yesterday I was feeling a little stressed, and a combination of stress and depressed. So if I'm feeling that, I'll just adapt the meditation to how I'm feeling. And to answer your question, that is why I always get the desired result when I meditate. It's not about the meditation that you do, it's about how you apply the specific meditation to how you feel. Because all meditations are different. Sometimes I just feel, honestly, and this is being 100% honest, sometimes, and I'm not a religious guy. I don't even remember the last time I went to temple. Honestly, I don't. Okay, a month ago when my cousin passed away, we went to a memorial, but I'm not religious in that sense. But I do have a close, and I do believe in a higher being. That's just me. It's what I believe, and we all have different views of what that higher being is, and that's perfectly valid. But there are times where I just feel empty. I feel devoid of spirituality. So I'll just pray. I'll just pray. And prayer is a form of meditation. You pray, you find a nice mantra that will bring you closer to God or to a higher being or to a certain feeling, and you just pray. And you'll find that also will make you feel centered, and it'll help fulfill what it is that you're missing, fill that void. So I think that is also very important. And look, even if you are an atheist or an agnostic, you can still achieve, if you're feeling this sense of emptiness, if you're feeling like there's something that is missing, but you don't believe in a higher being, then you can achieve this through mantra meditation. So you just find the mantra that resonates, and you just repeat the mantra on a regular basis, and you'll find that that'll have a very similar impact and effect on you, psychologically speaking. So again, to answer your question, and that was a great question, Suzanne, you have to apply the meditation to how you feel. Exactly, Robin. Exactly. Robin is just confirming what we're saying, that today's today's kids are definitely at a disadvantage, for sure, without a glimmer of a doubt. Suzanne's saying, when you meditate, is it guided by someone else or do you meditate on your own? Which do you personally prefer? Great question, Suzanne. So when I meditate, here's what I do. First thing in the morning, I meditate on my own. I set up a 30-minute timer and I meditate on my own. And then I would usually, midway through the day at around 3 p.m., I'll do a guided meditation, like 15 or 20-minute guided meditation. A lot of people use that time to watch a show, go on YouTube or whatever. I'll just dedicate on my break 15, 20 minutes of a guided meditation. But I use two apps for guided meditation. Insight Timer, obviously, because I teach on Insight Timer. But I'll plug in another app called Headspace, and I use Headspace. I think I have a membership for Headspace. It's $99 for the whole year, but I got a family plan, so it's a lot cheaper when you chip in for a family plan. So but Headspace has been great. So I'll alternate between Insight Timer and Headspace. They have great meditations and creativity meditations on Headspace too, which, by the way, depending on what you want to achieve. So I'll do that, and then as per one of the people that I've learned from, David G, he highly recommends, and he says it in his book as well, meditating between 5 p.m. and 7 p.m. So I'll find any time, it can be usually around 6:30, 6 o'clock, I'll do a 30-minute no guided meditation, just on my own timed meditation for 30 minutes before bed. Sometimes it'll be a 15-minute meditation. So in total, it's about an hour. And that is how I go about it. And I couldn't express more how much it helps. Now, why do I meditate for 30 minutes in the morning? In the morning, I find that the first 15 minutes of my meditation, a lot of the mess. It's like a mess, right? The thoughts keep lurking, and I keep thinking about my day, about my dreams, about how I'm feeling. So much is happening for the first 15 minutes. It's impossible to meditate. You don't really get much focusing on your breath time. But then I find that by the end of the 15 minutes, I'm a little more now ready to properly meditate. So I really do, from a 30-minute meditation, get 15 minutes of truly being in the zone meditation, truly going deep and being, immersed in the space. So it's those 15 minutes, but the first 15 minutes are like a warm-up, and they're just almost like I'm calibrating myself before the big meditation. So, getting all the rubbish out of the way, all the nonsense from my head out of the way first. So yeah, let's see. Natasha's saying The Power of Now book. Yeah, by Eckhart Tolle. I've read that book. It's a great book. And it teaches you exactly how to meditate. Nature teaches you how to be still. And exactly, Natasha's saying, I have a calm, open mind for learning instead of drama. And that's equanimity, right? That's important for you to have this calm and open mind, and not just let drama affect you and impact you and hold you back, but just understand it on a more rational and, you know, observant level, right? As opposed to getting caught up in it. And then Natasha says, meditation is like self-love. When you practice it, being loving, grateful, and kind to yourself consistently, you then give that love, gratitude, and kindness to others. Exactly. And we talked about that so many times in our self-love meditations, that when you are experiencing self-love, when you love yourself and truly have your own back, then you can pass that on to other people, because you're full of love now and you have love to give. You're harvesting this love, and it's in you. So then you are more capable of, and you are more inclined to give it to other people. When you don't love yourself, you don't really have much love in you. So you can't expect to have much to give to other people, right? So, you know, it's like you're a miner. It's like you're a love miner. You're mining for love, and then you accrue all this love in you, and then you have you're wealthy. You're wealthy with love, and you can give more to other people. So that's how I see it. You're proactively seeking more love, and therefore more compassion, and you become more, as Suzanne said, you become more compassionate and altruistic. Fatima saying, I do the same. I don't go to a church either, but I feel connected with a higher being and with my spiritual guides. Yeah, amazing, Fatima. And it's great to hear someone else say that. And again, you don't have to feel connected to a certain denomination or to a religion, but spirituality is a very personal experience, and you do so in your own way, and pave your own road as you go, your own path, your own peaceful path. Suzanne saying, has your family noticed a change in you when you started meditating? Yeah, for sure, Suzanne. Yeah, I used to be a little irritable when people used to, I used to be irritable. I used to be impatient. I think that could be because I'm an Aries, but I am by nature I'm impatient, and I'm anxious by nature, and I'm irritable by nature, and I have been for my younger life. So my family have noticed that we can engage in more robust debates, and we can talk a little bit more about a variety of robust topics, and it can go deep. But I am just like this the whole time. I'm very calm and I'm very balanced, and they appreciate that, and those around me appreciate that. And I think that we can get more done. When you can engage in productive dialogue, then you can achieve a more reliable and a more you can achieve consensus really. So I think that in my opinion is one of the most important qualities a person can acquire from meditation, is knowing how to remain calm at all times, despite what they're talking about, and despite what is being said to them, and despite the temperature of the conversation. You are independent, and you can always keep the temperature at your level, as opposed to getting caught up in other people's rhetorics and other people's energies. And I find that was profoundly impactful. And I think that if everyone meditated, the world would be more like that. We would just have regular conversations. You would tell me something that you believe, and I would listen to you, and then I'll tell you what I believe. You would listen to me, and then you would rebut eloquently and thoughtfully and compassionately. I would accept your rebuttals, and then I would rebut to your rebuttals, and we'll just have a very calm conversation about it. And I think that it would be a very productive. I know that it would be a very productive conversation. It would be a very productive way to go about life, really. Let's see. Suzanne, I'm not religious, but I do feel I've become more spiritual in a way. Yeah, absolutely, Suzanne. Look, again, you don't have to be religious to be spiritual, and I think it's not absurd to believe in energies. I don't think the concept that energies exist is an absurd concept. So if you believe in energies of any sort, if you believe that there are energies out there that make us feel a certain way, or that if you believe in anything of the like, then you are spiritual. And I feel like a lot of atheists cast spirituality as a bad trait. I don't think it's a bad trait. I think the lack of spirituality can be a little bad, because you need something. You need something to believe in. You need something to fill that void. And I think humans by nature, for thousands, tens of thousands of years, we have always expressed we've always expressed ourselves spiritually. It doesn't have to be a monotheistic or polytheistic form of spirituality. Pagans have done it. But everyone throughout our time, we've always been spiritual by nature. And I think that it is spirituality that has propelled us to grow and has compelled us to become better people. So, yeah, I think it's a great thing. I think spirituality is a great thing. And I think that as long as we respect each other's pathways and understand that we're all coming from different places, I'm a huge proponent of it. If you want to be religious and if you want to practice meditation through your religious denomination, then that is perfectly encouraged, actually, you know. I'm not anti-religion like some people are. I'm not against religion. Just because there are some bad aspects to it doesn't mean that it's a bad thing. I think religion's a great thing. I think that it helps a lot of people recover from bad times in their lives. It gives some people a sense of direction and purpose. And I think that is a fantastic, fantastic thing. So yeah, anyway, I completely digress. When you love life, it loves you back. Could not have said it better, Natasha. When you love life, it loves you back. Exactly. Cause and effect, right? Fatima saying, understand you so well. I'm an Aries. Ah, you're also an Aries. That's why you understand me well. Thanks, Fatima. Nice to know that you're a fellow Aries. Kathy is saying, I go to church and my pastor and I often discuss meditation on a regular basis. You've brought so much change in my life. I'm calmer and have changed since meditating. Thank you so much for saying that, Kathy. I appreciate it. And yeah, there are so many brilliant meditations that you can learn about in church. Contemplative Christian meditation is one of them. I personally am not Christian, but I can definitely, understand and respect the value that you can get from that. So 100%, and it sounds like your pastor's a very open-minded individual and that you're learning a lot from him or her. So thank you so much for sharing that, Kathy, honestly. Suzanne, what would you say to a naysayer? Well, okay. First, I would ask myself, why is that person being a naysayer? What do they have personally against meditation? And then I have to also understand that some people are, by default, very skeptical of everything. Everything. It's just their nature. It doesn't matter what it is. You could present something that could be perfectly logical, but they will express deep skepticism towards it. So I would just say to them, look, I understand that is in your nature to be a naysayer, to be skeptic. I understand as humans, we tend to distance ourselves from what it is that we do not understand. That is just part of human nature, right? That is why people fight. That is why people engage in conflict. That is why we disagree with each other, because in many ways we are unwilling to see and try other things from other perspectives. So I'll just say to them, look, I understand where you're coming from. This is your proclivity. This is where your intentions lie. But I would encourage them to just try it. Just not even try it, read a little bit more about it. If you're a naysayer, just read a little bit about how meditation can help your life. And have an open mind. I would encourage them to have an open mind. And I would encourage them to meditate. Just try it. I would say set yourself a challenge, give it a try, speak to people who have meditated, read the literature, and open your mind. And they may naysay that as well. And I would say, that's fine. Because I get that as well. Being a vegan, I get a lot of people naysaying me. And that's fine. And following that, I would just say, that's fine. When you are ready, you will do it. You're just not ready now. This is just not your time. There will come a time in your life when you are ready. There is a time for everything. There is a time to also be religious, right? Who was it? I think it was, it is from a Woody Allen movie. I forgot which Woody Allen movie it was, where he keeps proclaiming that he's an atheist. And then there was a moment in the airplane where there was turbulence and seemed like it was going to crash. And then he just goes, please, God, 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 God. And he starts praying to God. And it's like that. You experience these things when you do feel like the time is right, that is when it comes out. But I guess they just haven't reached that point in their lives. They're a naysayer. So I hope that sort of makes a little bit of sense. Alpha Dog, nice to see you. Haven't seen you in a while. Nice to see you. Dialectical behavioral therapy also is helpful. Yes, dialectical behavioral therapy is helpful. I haven't admittedly delved into it too much, but I have heard about the benefits of it, for sure. TM, everyone has their own unique beliefs. Exactly, TM. And that is the whole purpose, that is the whole premise of spirituality, is that we have our beliefs and we respect other people's beliefs, and we are forming our own path. And I want to also make something clear. You can be Christian or Jewish, but you can still be spiritual, right? Because you can express those religions in your own unique spiritual way. So there's no one way to go about it. You know, how many different denominations are there of a variety of religions? How many different ways are there to practice those religions? So you can find your own ways. Exactly, Natasha. The world needs more healers, without a doubt. Yes, exactly. We have enough naysayers in the world. We need more healers, for sure. Fatima's saying medical doctors, psychiatrists are advising their patients to do meditation. Oh yeah, it's becoming more common, and it's becoming more integrated into everyday scientific study and into the everyday scientific approach. And it's not just psychiatrists and doctors, it's, you know, a variety of different people, you know, people from all walks of life, professionals from all walks of life, physiotherapists, chiropractors. Everyone is now starting to admit that meditation can not only affect your mind in the most positive ways and bring out the best of your personality, but meditation can also help your body heal and help you grow physiologically in a better way. Suzanne's saying, with what's been going on everywhere these days, meditation is something to hold on to for strength and wisdom, without a doubt. Exactly. And we're living in tumultuous times. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of turmoil. There's a lot of division. There is a lot of, barking at each other. There's a lot of negativity. And there's a lot of tribalism, which fuels division. And I think that in today's world, meditation could not be more needed than ever, okay? Because the meditation helps you listen. We're living in a time now where people are so tribal, they're not even willing to listen to each other. They're not even willing to listen to where the other person is coming from, on both ends. And I think that meditation helps you listen, helps you calmly and in a very balanced way respond to those you're debating with and see other people's points of view. And it is only through consensus that we will grow and progress. And it is really consensus that will save our society from what may be an eventual plummeting. So we just have to understand that. We have to be very mindful of how we approach our lives and how we talk to other people. And meditation helps us with that. So yeah, meditation is one of the most effective skills. If not, I'm pretty much sure meditation is the one thing that will save us in the 21st century. Now, there are some things meditation doesn't give you. Meditation doesn't give you values. It doesn't give you a set of rules. It doesn't help you, it doesn't give you, values, really, and a set of rules. And I think that for those, you need to read more. You need to, learn from other people. And you need to nourish your mind, enrich your mind with a variety of things. Meditation opens you up. Meditation empties the cup, and then you need to fill the cup with good, really. So yeah, I hope that makes sense. Suzanne's saying we should do these sessions more often, kind of a check-in. So interesting. What do you think? Yeah, I actually agree with you. And that's what I was thinking when I was listing the sessions. And I was thinking we actually could do with a good, check-in session when we just talk about meditation in general and share those benefits. And it's motivational, and it's, as you said, it's just a great way for us to check in and remind ourselves of how far we've come and of how much meditation has benefited us, for sure, without a doubt. That's a great call, Suzanne. So thanks, guys. I really enjoyed this session. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to do a 5-minute meditation. So I can see there are 18 people. Do not leave. 18 people here. Let's just do a 5-minute meditation to begin this meditation, to finish it off, and just feel calm after and feel balanced. If this is the first time you're ever meditating with me, then it'll give you a taste of what is to come. You can head to my Insight Timer, and there are a variety of different meditations. My Insight Timer link is in the profile. Of course, if you enjoyed this, you can click on PayPal. You can donate to this channel as well. And you're ready, Elisabetta? I bet you are. It's late in Italy, so thank you for being up. And Robin, yes, meditation does indeed give you discipline. It's one of the most important things that you get from meditation, without a doubt. So let's begin. Enough with me. I'm going to switch the camera so you have something nice to look at. My face, the quality of my face is not very good right now. So let's just switch the camera. And here we are. It's a sunny day. I think we'll just have this view of these two buildings. And I'm going to ask for you to find yourself seated comfortably in a position that is most comfortable and just feels normal and nice. And I'd like you to begin by taking a deep breath in through your nose. Just a deep breath in. And slowly exhale. As you breathe out, just gently close your eyes. And begin by just noticing where your breath is felt most distinctly. Just notice the sensations that come with your breath. Where do you notice it the most? Is it coming from your belly, your chest, the tip of your nose, anywhere else? Just keep exploring the sensations that come with the breath. Now you will find that thoughts will be arising. You'll be thinking of things, and that's perfectly normal. When those thoughts do arise, I want you to notice the thoughts, and then I want you to label them as either a thought or an emotion. So just you quickly summarize a thought in your mind, and then discern whether it is a thought or an emotion. Then once you've labeled it, go back to your breath. Go back to sensing how your breath feels, noticing the movements, absorbing the raw data that comes from those sensations. And now I'd like you to take note of your nostrils. Just notice the air flowing in and out of your nostrils. Notice how the temperature changes with each in and out breath. Now I'd like you to notice your chest. Take note of your chest, of how it expands when you breathe into it, and then of how it contracts when you breathe out of it. Just pay attention to those movements of your chest. And I'll remind you, if thoughts seep in, and they probably are, just take note of those thoughts, and then label them as either a thought or an emotion. And then go back to your breath. And now, I'd like you to take a deep breath into your belly. Notice your belly expand and then hold. And slowly exhale. Just notice your body very quickly before we end this meditation. Notice any tension that may be present. Relax your jaw, relax your shoulders. arms. Relax your belly and chest. Relax your legs. Just ensure that your entire body is relaxed now. And when you're ready, when you are relaxed, you may gently open your eyes and welcome back your physical surroundings. And I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this episode of Peaceful Path and for sharing your time and for doing this meditation with me. It is very, very appreciated. And yeah, I'll send you lots of love. And let me just step into the shade so you can see me properly. But let me know how you feel. If you're feeling a certain way, if you're feeling good, if you're feeling calm, if you're feeling motivated or sleepy, you may be falling asleep now, then let us know in the chat. But again, just thank you so much for your time, and thank you very much for everything. Really appreciate it. Yeah, TM, thank you. Yeah, it is a nice view, and I mean, it looks nice when the weather's nice. You're welcome, Robin. Thanks, Fatima, and I hope you have a good night as well. Thanks, Suzanne. I appreciate that, and enjoy the rest of your day. And I appreciate you being here as always. So thanks, guys. Thank you very much for your time. If you have any questions, you can ask now. Otherwise, we'll have to. I'll let you go. I'll let you go and enjoy the rest of your evening or day. You're welcome, Natasha. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So I love you guys. Appreciate you guys. Big hug to you guys. Thank you, Fatima. Yeah, thanks, TM. You have a great day as well. Appreciate it. Thanks, Janine. You have an amazing day. Thanks, Suzanne. I'll see you guys later in the week, and we'll speak soon. Okay? Take care.